Ancient Roman baths. They are a huge part of Roman society, and today I will be covering the design of the baths, the different types of Roman baths, and finally the activities which people do when they go to the baths. The designs of the baths. Bathhouses normally had a different layout to other bathhouses, but they all roughly had the same things inside of them. They all had public latrinas, which were the toilets, and they were often seated with marble seats depending on where the bathhouse was. So if it was in a rich part of Rome, it would normally have marble seats, and if not, then it might degrade to something like stone or then wood, which was not as comfortable. These bathhouses were to be used by everyone, and people would come to them daily to use them. There were also two types of rooms were the essential rooms. There were the cold rooms and the hot rooms. People would go into each of these rooms in each trip. But before they entered the different rooms, they would first go into the aportorium, which was the room where people would change, and then proceed to different types of rooms. The first of the rooms is the plunge pool, which is a type of pool which is cold, like the name states. And there is also the frigidarium, which is the cold room, where people would go in after the plunge pool. And for the hot rooms, there was a sudatorium and a caldarium. The boiler room was set up to heat the sudarium and the caldarium. The caldarium, which was a hot room, was similar to the frigidarium but for warmth. And the sudatorium was somewhere where people would go to sweat off all the dirt and disease they might have, which is similar to the modern day sauna. Activities at the bath. One of the big things people would do when they go to have an activity, when they go to the bath, is that they go do the palestra. The palestra was a thing where, before stepping into this series of baths, you and other visitors, young and old, male and female, exercised in the open courtyards. This exercise was usually neither extremely vigorous nor competitive. It was done instead to maintain health, as was recommended by the Roman medical profession. Doctors believed that bathing, exercise, massage, and good diet would be the things that provided The exercise was usually neither extremely vigorous nor competitive. It was done instead to maintain health, as was recommended by the Roman medical professors. Doctors believed that bathing, exercise, massage, and good diet, which was all the things that the bath provided, were the basic ingredients of good health. Exercise also worked up a light sweat, recommended before a bath. If you are a man, your workout would consist of running, wrestling, boxing, or fencing. Ball games such as handball were also played. Women also took part in this prelude to bathing. Trochus, a game that consisted of rolling a metal hoop with a hoop stick, was considered a more appropriate women's exercise, as was swimming. One Roman juvenile mocked brazen society women who worked out with weights and dumbbells for infringing on a sport that he obviously considered solely part of a male domain. Since the women workday began at sunrise, work was usually over a little after noon, but 2 to 3 p.m. men would go to the baths and plan to stay for several hours of sport, bathing and conversation, after which they would be ready for a relaxing dinner. Mixed baths were generally frowned upon, although the fact was that various emperors repeatedly forbid it seems to indicate that the prohibitions did not always work. Certainly, women who were concerned about their respectability did not frequent the baths when the men were there, but of course the baths were an excellent place for prostitutes to ply their trade. After exercise, bathers would have the dirt and oil scraped from them, their bodies and curved metal from their bodies with a curved metal implement called a strigil. When the bathing proper began, accompanied by a slave carrying their towels, oil flasks, and strigils, bathers would progress to a leisurely place through rooms of various temperature. They might start in the warm room, trapitium, which had heated walls and floors, but sometimes had no pool, then proceed to the hot bath, caldarium, which was closest to the furnace. This room had a large tub or small pool with very hot water and a waist-high fountain, labrum. The cool water to splash on their face and neck. After the bath, they might spend some time in the tepidarium, again before finishing in the cold room, frigidarium, with a refreshing dip in the cold pool. Other rooms provided moist steam, dry heat like a sauna, laconium, and a massage with perfumed oils. After their bath, patrons could stroll in the gardens, visit the library, watch performances of jugglers or acrobats, listen to a literacy recital, or buy a snack from the many food vendors. Doubtless, the baths were noisy, as the philosopher Seneca complained when he lived near a bathhouse in Rome, but the baths were probably very attractive places. Types of baths. There were many different types of baths in ancient Rome, and the main was a type of bath which was used in the a type of bath used in the Roman Empire. It was built around three principles: the caldarium, which was the hot bathroom, the frigidarium, which was the cold bathroom, and the tepidarium, which was the warm bath room, which can't be mixed up with the calidum. In the third main, the atrium, which is the main hall where people would come in when they first enter the bath, was first used for exercise for the young men, because the young men and the old men were split up into two different sections, and visitors to the baths, they come in and look around, and they would start in the atrium. In England, the city of Bath, which the Romans had conquered and took as their own, brought in some religion with them, and with that religion, that was brought in with the baths. There are some baths which are dedicated to the religion. They are called aquaeous, and these baths were water which was hot springs and which had come on the ground, which were already hot, and the Romans thought this to be holy and sacred. And because of this, they dedicated this to gods, and this dedication might be used for revenge, asking for them, or peace, and asking peace offerings, and asking oracles, and they used this bath for that, and the Romans brought that religion to England, and that is a different type of bath.